Welcome back to Open Window Politics. Today we're going to be going through what the polls are showing us and who is ahead in the presidential race. We'll be going through each of the primary swing states here. We will be going through state of Nevada, Arizona, the Rust Belt, 3 states, and then with North Carolina and Georgia. So we will get started off with going to the polls. Well, actually, we'll start with Pennsylvania. I already have the polls pulled up here. So here it is very tight race. Most of the more recent polls have Harris up, but it's by, and some of them are even tied. So it's definitely going to be one of, if not the closest states. It says that let's go to Wisconsin here. So in Wisconsin, it is dead heat even. In Pennsylvania, Harris is up, but barely, only by about 0.1%. So we will, nonetheless, that is still a victory for the Harris campaign. We will put that, I'll add a tilt characterization. So we will put that as tilt blue, there we go. And then let's go over to the West Coast now. We'll go over to Nevada. In Nevada, it is also a close race, a little bit less so. Harris is ahead by 0.5 percentage point. So that will be 6 electoral college votes for the Harris campaign. And then that leaves us with, we still have states select to characterize, but that currently is 251 electoral college votes for the Harris-Walz ticket to 219 for the Trump-Vance ticket. And then let's go to the state of Arizona to see what is next there. So in Arizona, this is a state that is looking pretty good for the Trump campaign. Of the swing states, if I believe I'm correct in saying that of the swing states, it is the most solidly Republican. Trump is up by 2.1, so that is going to be in the Trump column right there. Tilt blue or tilt red. And then we will go to the state of Wisconsin to see what is going on there. In Wisconsin, it is dead heat, so I'm not going to be able to characterize that state. We'll just leave it as a swing state, but we will now go to the state of North Carolina, and we have Georgia, North Carolina left, as well as, let's see, what else do we have left? We also have Michigan left, so we'll start out with Georgia, though. So in Georgia, go to the polls there. Again, it is looking pretty good for the Trump campaign. It is still a pretty healthy margin victory at least in the polls, for Trump. So we will go with that. Some of the latest polling, though, has been, and they take other factors into consideration other than just polling, but it looks like Harris has won a few of the polls they're all from the same source, so it's possible that's a biased source, but we will nonetheless characterize the state of Georgia for a tilt Republican. Then we will go to the state of, let's go to the state of Michigan next. Or actually, no, let's do North Carolina. North Carolina, interestingly enough, is closer in the polls, according to 538, than Georgia is, which is interesting since Biden was able to win Georgia in 2020, but was not able to win North Carolina. So it's interesting to see that those are flipped. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, generally there's kind of a polling history of Democrats being underrepresented in the state of Nevada, while being overrepresented in North Carolina. So I do think that this will be a Republican state. The polls are showing us that too. There was a brief moment there where Harris was above in the polls, but it is reverted back to being in the Trump column. Then we will go to the state of Michigan. So in Michigan, we will, let's see, the polls are there. So Michigan is generally the most Democratic friendly of the 3 Rust Belt states. In 2016, Trump won it by the narrowest margin out of those 3 states. It might have even been the narrowest state. But right now, Harris is up by 0.5 percentage point. I'm certain Harris will not be winning by 8 points, but they take a bunch of polls into consideration as well as some other factors. So for us, that will be good enough to classify that state as tilt blue. And then with that is just barely enough electoral college votes for the Harris campaign to win the presidency. It is exactly 270. And I haven't characterized the state of Wisconsin because it is currently a dead heat in the polls. Both candidates are tied. Generally, the Rust Belt votes together, but I think there's a possibility Trump wins the state. But even if he does, it will still be 2 electoral college votes shy of the presidency. Feel free to let me know if you guys have any questions about my prediction, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.